All right, happy Friday. Let's do this. It's time for the First Alert Weather Live Stream. This is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon in the First Alert Weather Center. Did you get that push alert? I didn't write it. Hot and juicy. Ted, our web producer. Oh boy, I can't tell if he's making us think about the weather or Burger Fest out in Seymour, or perhaps both. Hold on a second. I can manipulate the camera here. You were thinking about Burger Fest, weren't you, Ted? Yeah. Nice shirt, by the way. Yeah. You know what, Ted? He is a snappy dresser. He's got a whole style, a whole vibe. You know what? Maybe you should break out your Hawaiian shirt too. It's going to be hot, and whether you're going to Burger Fest or not, you know what? You need to plan for the heat. You don't want to be a sizzling beef patty. All right, that's not the juicy we're looking for. Live view from our Manitowoc sky cam. Partly cloudy skies, 76 degrees. Oh, that dew point. Ugh, 72. Dew points in the 60s, they're uncomfortable, but dew points in the 70s, they're oppressive. It's muggy out there. So because of the heat and humidity, the National Weather Service said, you know what, we're going to issue a heat advisory. And they did around 3:15 this morning. It hasn't officially started yet. It'll start at noon. It'll go through 7 o'clock this evening. It's for those red shaded counties you see on the map in front of you. Fox Cities, Fox Valley, just to the west and to the north. And that is an area where the heat index, our feel-like temperatures this afternoon, could be very close to 100 degrees. The actual high in Green Bay should hit about 91. Heat index up to about 100. Hot, humid. You'll have partly cloudy skies. It is going to be a sultry day. So here's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. Let me show you the actual high temperatures. It'll actually say 91 this afternoon in your thermometer in Appleton and Green Bay. It'll say 87 in the north towards Pembine and Lakewood. You'll find a little bit of minor heat relief lakeside, low 80s from Door County down towards Sheboygan. Now, the high temperatures only really tell half the story. The other half is what the dew point does to you. Now, when you get that tropical dew point in the low 70s all the way through this evening, it really does not allow you to cool down efficiently, because what happens is you get hot and you start to sweat, and it isn't always pleasant, is it, right? I mean, you're like me. You put on the deodorant, you're trying to keep cool. Perspiring, sweating, is your body's natural way to cool down. Now, when the air is just chock full of humidity, moisture, that water vapor doesn't really evaporate off of you very efficiently. It kind of clings to you. Evaporation is a cooling process. Your body is trying to keep itself cool, so you evaporate sweat. Well, when it's humid, the sweat clings to you, and then all of a sudden it's the air you can wear. And that really is the big problem. The problem is not so much the high temperature. The problem is the feels-like temperature, the heat index. And you can see on First Alert Pinpoint Predictor, it gets into the upper 90s, and it could hit 100 in some spots this afternoon. Heat index of 99 later today in Appleton, 97 in Wautoma. So your severe weather outlook is moderate for today because of heat. And as I mentioned, today is a First Alert Weather Day. Tomorrow is also a First Alert Weather Day, and also in the moderate category, but it's for a different reason. It's because of our next weather maker, and that is thunderstorms. So heavy or strong thunderstorms are possible tomorrow, and you know what? We may have multiple rounds of thunderstorms depending on how the situation evolves. So let's set the stage. We've got a double-barreled area of low pressure back across the northern plains and out towards the Canadian Rockies. And there's been some severe weather overnight across North Dakota, and those storms are pushing through northern Minnesota. They're weakening. I'm not too worried about that activity. But what's going to happen is that tonight we'll have another round of storms that develops out west, and that'll spread its way into Wisconsin during the pre-dawn hours. And it's quite possible those storms could make it here as we go into Saturday morning. But really, it's the storms that could pop up Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Those are the ones that could be severe, especially with that area of yellow. So that's about Peshtigo, Sturgeon Bay, south and west across central Wisconsin. That bullseye of yellow, that's a level 2 risk of severe weather. And this is out of the 1 to 5 severe weather scale. Ta-da! So that's a slight risk. In other words, scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible tomorrow. This does not seem like a tornado situation, but this seems more like a heavy rain and high wind situation. Now, high winds, once we get winds that are up around 60 plus miles an hour, that usually triggers severe thunderstorm warnings. And I'm also worried about if we get heavy rain from thunderstorms that track through the same locations time and time again, we may have some areas of flash flooding. That phenomenon by meteorologists is what we call training. Think about a train going down the tracks. So like say you're stuck at the gates and the train goes by, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. The boxcars, they keep going over the same locations time and time again. So you get heavy rain and it moves on. Then you get more heavy rain and boom, and it moves on. And so all of a sudden your rain gauge starts going up, 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 and it starts overflowing. And next thing you know, the water is overflowing on the roads in front of you. So that's what we're worried about. And part of that is because it's so muggy outside. The atmosphere is just swimming with humidity. And so all that's just going to get squeezed out of the clouds like a wet towel from these thunderstorms that might track through the same locations time and time again. This is what I'm talking about. Look at First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. So the storms out west that refire up, they might just kind of flop their way into eastern Wisconsin Saturday morning. See how they move in and they kind of weaken a little bit? This actually would be good. I actually would be actually happy if this happens. Well, first of all, we could use the rain. It's been dry the past couple of weeks. But secondly, if these storms come in weakening Saturday morning, not only do we get beneficial rainfall, but it might help to bring down that severe weather threat later in the day. But I'm going to caution you. What you're seeing here is just one of many computer simulations that we look at every day in the First Alert Weather Center. So this may not play out exactly like this. And thunderstorms are very tricky to track in general. So we might have a collapsing first round of thunderstorms pushing their way into eastern Wisconsin tomorrow morning. That could lower the severe weather threat later in the day. But First Alert Pinpoint Predictor blows up a second round over western Wisconsin. There it is. See that? And it's pushing into the Fox Valley around 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, towards the lakeshore, closer to 4 o'clock. Heavy rain, high winds possible. Now, if this solution of Pinpoint Predictor is right, this would be good for you football fans out there. Because 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, we got the Packers and Jets, preseason football at Lambeau Field. If this version of Pinpoint Predictor is right, these storms are out of here by then. But again, I'm not confident. I'm not like sold that this is how it's going to play out. It's one of many solutions on how this could evolve as we go through your Saturday. So this bears a lot of watching. Potential rainfall. Notice I said potential, not exact rainfall totals. There is potentially 1 to 3 inches of rain on the way from the heaviest of the thunderstorms. Now, whether that's over Wausau or that's over top of Sheboygan or somewhere in between, that's difficult to say. But wherever these storms go, remember the atmosphere is just dripping with water vapor, and all of a sudden you squeeze it out. That heavy rain is going to come down somewhere. Packers versus the Jets tomorrow, 7 o'clock in the evening at Lambeau Field. Humid. Storms are possible. If you're going, just make sure you and your family are weather ready. You should be planning for the heat. The kickoff temperature is around 80. It'll be very, very muggy out there. And if they do get storms at Lambeau Field tomorrow evening, it might be a sudden quick run over to the concourse. Hey, listen, we've seen that time and time again over the years. Chances are you're well aware of that. So we'll see what happens. Fingers and toes crossed. We don't have to worry about it, but it is possible. All right, so there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. We've got back-to-back First Alert weather days. Today, because of the heat, 91, heat index up to 100 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Saturday, tomorrow, 86. That's very dependent on the cloud cover and the nature of the thunderstorms, however. Storms could be heavy or strong. Heavy rain, maybe flash flooding, high winds a possibility. And there's other chances of thunderstorms Sunday and Monday. I don't think they will be as strong or quite as numerous, but they might still be around, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Not as hot, but still humid. Sunday into Monday, highs in the low 80s. Back up to 84 on Tuesday. Tuesday's probably dry, a little breezy though. And then Wednesday, let's make our Super 7-day forecast extra super. There we go. U.S. Venture Open. You're going to hear a lot about this golf fundraiser over the next few days, because this is a big deal for a lot of communities in our area, because all this money is being raised in this fundraiser is going to help poverty or fight poverty. And we hope it goes off without a hitch. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates. I will say, the way the forecast looks right now, there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms, probably in the afternoon. Temperatures will be rising into the low 80s. This forecast that far in advance, this is like 6 days in advance, it's very subject to change. But that's how it looks right now. And even tomorrow, that's how it looks right now. You know what? As we pull in more data in the First Alert Weather Center, and it's catching on to the latest trends that the previous computer runs may not have picked up on, we're going to be able to fine-tune that forecast. And later today, hopefully we're going to give you an even more accurate forecast on what we're expecting and how things will be playing out. And whenever we get those forecast updates, boom, we're sending that out to our free WBAY First Alert Weather app. Do you have it on your phone? If you're saying no, if you're shaking your head, come on. Download it. It's that QR code there. If you get your camera phone, you can scan that, and it goes right to your electronic device. It's free. And what's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is you try our app. God bless you. Thank you for our obligatory sneeze during weather. Thank you. She always sneezes during weather. She's allergic to me. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen? If you try our app, you don't like it, then you just delete it off your phone. The best thing is that you try our app and you're like, oh, this is helpful. This actually is useful for me and what my family does. So go ahead, download it. Give it a tap. Helpful this weekend. Oh, we don't need to see him. We saw enough of him. All right. Hey. Yeah, Friday. Getting ready for the weekend. But I hope it is a safe weekend. Make sure you're not overheating. Make sure you're watching out for storms. Make sure you're hydrating. Let's hope that Mother Nature hydrates us, but not too much. We don't want too much of a good thing. It has been bone dry the past couple weeks. We need the rain. We don't need the severe weather. We don't need flash flooding. Hopefully it's not too much of a good thing. All right, thank you for watching our First Alert live stream. Before we go, Ted, take a bow. Ted, you're on. Take a bow. There you go. We love Ted Miller. You know what? Ted has been with us for many years, longer than I've been here. How many, Ted, show your fingers. How many years have you been here? 300. No, I'm kidding. 36? That true? 36 years? Wow. Ted is a superstar in the newsroom. He does so much for us, and I really appreciate everything he does. Look at that. He's flexing for us. All right. Thank you, Ted, and thank you for watching our live stream. Have a great weekend. See you around.